Welcome everyone to the Delaware Disc Golf Challenge, part of the National Tour Series put on by the PDGA. We're here at Newark, Delaware at the Iron Hill Disc Golf Course in the final round of the FPO division. I'm Sarah Hoke. I'm here with Holly Finley.
Yeah, thanks so much for tuning in today, guys. You can check out this top 10 leaderboard. Got a couple of touring pros as well as some locals such as Michelle Frazier and Margaret Sassaman. Here we are starting off on hole 1, 540 feet. Often you'll find positioning is more important than distance, but if you're feeling aggressive off the tee, go ahead and get around that corner. That'll make your upshot into the green so much easier. But watch out, because this year they have lined the left side with out of bounds, so you need to be precise with your upshot. Also, we have a new built-up green as well as a new tee for the FPO division this year.
Katrina up first, our leader at -3, throwing her M2. She's put this in pretty good position the first 2 days and appears to have got this tee shot dialed. Next up is Heather Young, just one stroke back. She's going M3, one of our prominent lefties on the FPO tour. Also right in the middle. Doing lead card things.
Absolutely.
Kona's up next. She's going to utilize her sidearm. She's been throwing this PD really well all week. Looks a little sawed off.
Oh, she'll have some work to do over there in the forest.
And Holly?
Throwing a Mako off the tee.
Also just one stroke back. This lead card is really tight on scores, and anything can happen here at Iron Hill.
Lucky kick back to the middle.
Was that just thrown a little low, do you think?
I just didn't aim it left enough since it has a slow right finish. And here I'm trying to curl a Roadrunner into the green. It's the furthest back I've been over the weekend, so I didn't quite get the angle right.
Oh, and Kona popped through pretty far. Just pitching out.
This sets up really well for Heather and her sidearm.
She's throwing her M3 again on that hyzer line. Really nice looking shot. Parks
Love
the green.
it. Touching the wood, and that's about as good as it can get.
Katrina up next with an M2. Also throwing the sidearm. And right next to Heather. Well played. Kona on her third after pitching out. This is looking like her AVR X3.
A good commitment to the shot. She'll have a par putt.
And Holly. This is her stud. Just pitching up. Yep. This hole playing as the 5th most difficult, so par is going to be good.
Just a bit low on that first putt.
And Katrina, our leader, is lining up a shorty to get her first birdie of the day.
Solid putt. That's the way you want to start off.
Speed looked a little rushed on her stroke, but nice and center chains. She's looking confident.
Slamming a par in there.
Heather keeping pace with the birdie.
Heather made that look really simple.
And Kona will drop back with a bogey. Also, shout out to Ellen Whitboom, who got this birdie on the day as well. And the chase card is like 3 or 4 strokes back, and Ellen is actually on the 3rd card. But nobody's really far away from the leaders, so
anybody's game at this point.
Yeah.
Here we are at hole 2, coming in at 333 feet. A couple different ways you can get there, the most popular being the way the drone is flying right now. Have your drive go over the top of this boulder and just follow the fairway up to the green. You can sneak through a couple of the corner batches of trees and get a little bit closer, but whatever it takes to get to the green would be the wise choice here.
Cat up first, going back to that M2. Ooh, that looks pretty good. It flattened up nice. And that's a nice putt for birdie. Cat could go 2 for 2.
Yeah, she's starting off really accurate here at the beginning of the round.
Heather with a D2. Hits the initial gap.
Come back.
Oh.
And denied by those sets of trees there as she approaches the green.
Holly up next, throwing that bus.
You know it.
Gets a similar fade.
And after a week of use at Iron Hill, that boss is not flying like it did when I first showed up.
Oh, right? I noticed the same thing with my bag. Kona going with her watermelon T-bird.
Juicy.
And so is this shot. Now get left. Come on. Oh! She'll be edge of circle 1, though. She'll have a putt.
Heather getting creative, trying to find her way to the green. And that she does.
That'll work. And Heather, I mean, even though that's a little bit of a tester, she's 100% inside the circle for the first 2 rounds. The only one able to maintain perfect putting stats.
And I had a good go at it, but, I'm so tall, my putt brushed the limbs. So next time I might take a knee. Let's see if Kona can float one in. Ooh, that was a good bid at it. Katrina for birdie.
This is to go to 5 down. Oh, yeah.
Wow, what a solid start.
That
Bird.
looked very controlled. She looks like she is just in the game plan. The game plan is coming together. Heather to save par. Continues her perfect putting streak. But that'll be an extra stroke for Katrina. Now ahead by 2 over Heather. Little tap-ins here for par. So Ellen got this one again. So she went.
Wow, Ellen.
So Kat went 2 for 2, and now Ellen has gone 2 for 2. I guess these two are, that's a great start. Great putt by Katrina.
All right, here we are, hole 3. Off of the tee, you've got a lot of space to work with. A nice open field, so you can get a powerful shot. If you've got a backhand roller, that's a good play here as well. Getting around the corner is sort of a bonus. You want to set yourself up in a good position so that you have an easy, open shot down this shadowy tunnel to the green, which is on a sloped angle. So you need to be precise with your upshot or your layup to give yourself an easy putt.
Yeah, this one actually playing as the most difficult hole on the course today. Katrina up first with an X3. And she did get the bogey on this yesterday, so we'll see if she can clean it up.
I like the angle on that.
Get through there.
Oh!
Rejected. But that's still a really good position.
It is.
She just has to miss that middle tree coming down the pipe. Heather up next with a D2. That looks good. Keeping it out of that right side rough. Coming up well short of Katrina, but also great positioning. And Heather got this birdie the first day, but then bogeyed it yesterday along with Katrina.
And I threw that shot as I normally do, but I don't know where it was going. Obviously, the disc is behaving differently after getting beat up all week.
Kona with a T-bird. But you know what? My whole card also, our discs turned over, and when we got out to the opening,
felt a little
there was a
headwindy.
little bit of headwind.
Yeah.
So I think maybe what you're saying about the disc being more beat in by this time in the week, plus a little bit of wind, certainly could lead to some throwing from the rough.
Kona with a short little pitch out, just trying to get herself in a better position. She can now approach the green. That was helpful.
Was very favorable. Still kind of pushed into those right woods, but should have a pretty easy little approach, maybe even a putt over there.
Oh, that looks great.
It's Heather's M3.
Very well executed from Heather Young.
Is this a Mako?
It is.
All right, let's Mako to gap. Get down. Actually, are you playing it for down the hill?
I'm just trying to get as far as I can, hopefully by the pin. It looks like I clipped a leaf and got an early hyzer left.
Katrina with an M2.
That is going into the woods a little earlier than you'd want, but she's still right there at it.
That looks like inside the circle even. Kona with a tricky little putt from back there. Just laying it up.
Come on. Even a layup isn't guaranteed
Did I hit
here.
a root or something? Kind of looked like it moved sideways and then caught the roll. Sit up there. Oh, did that go down?
It did. Did not commit to the Annie angle for the layup.
So Katrina looks like she's just outside the circle. Not necessarily a putt you have to run. And she's already got a little bit of a cushion. But she runs it. Doesn't go too far past, but that'll be a tricky angle back up there. And this is Heather for birdie. Oh, that would be her first miss of the tournament.
That's pretty good. Waiting until the third day to make a mistake.
Definitely. Kona also can't convert.
And this is a super awkward putt.
Yeah, so far up, and with a push putter, the window for the disc to go in the basket is not as wide when you get that elevation change. But Kat makes it look easy. Saving the par. And it's just 2 down for the round already. Holly coming back up for the par as well.
Oopsie.
Oh, dang it.
Just a little whiff there.
There it is. What kind of adjustments do you try to make for those uphill putts?
I try to aim at a different spot on the basket, but occasionally the body just doesn't follow suit.
And Kona for the single bogey.
There we go. Good cleanup.
The double bogey. Dang it. Need to warm up my counting skills. It's a little early this morning.
It is early. It is early.
And Heather tapping out. So Katrina is kind of out in front a little bit, but there's so much golf to play. I'm very excited to watch this round unfold.
When I walk up to the tee, I have these game plans. I think I'm going to land in these same areas every single time, but you never know. Having the Bushnell rangefinder no matter where I land gives me that extra level of confidence.
I started playing disc golf with my family when I was 8 years old. When I was 16, I got my first job as a cook at a bowling alley, and that's when I made my first batch of beef jerky. As I got better at throwing, I also got better at making beef jerky. Everyone told me they loved my jerky. After 15 years of making my beef jerky as a hobby, I decided to make it available to everyone. Double G Craft Jerky. Give it a try. You're gonna love it.
Welcome back, my friends. Here we are at hole 4, 675 feet. A nice open tee shot. You've got a lot of space to work with here. You really want to plan which side of the fairway to land on so you can execute your upshot according to plan. I like to land in the middle or on the left side. Now, getting into the green isn't easy. There's a lot of these skinny little pencil trees you have to bust through in order to get down there. This is a birdieable hole, but you really have to work for it.
Katrina up first with her H3 V2. Looking for a nice slow turn. And she does it. She birdied this one yesterday.
That goes a long ways down there.
That makes that second shot far less difficult. Heather going D2. The shot play is really good for a lefty, but it doesn't give you that distance. Flexing the disc is not really available. So you kind of just end up throwing a hyzer. But the shot is easier, but it's not, the distance is not available. Oh.
Still trying to figure out what that boss is doing at this point. Not flying like I'm used to it.
Kona going with her sidewinder. And she's gotten this hole both rounds, which is really impressive. But you can kind of see, did that hit a tree?
I'm not sure, but it didn't quite get that turnover you're looking for.
What is this orange little duty?
That's an old school PFN Roadrunner I pulled out of my secret stash.
I was wondering, I haven't seen that one out of your hand yet.
It's because I lost my main Roadrunner in Vegas, so I've got this replacement.
Okay.
So I made it through the gap of the pencil trees. Let's see if Kona can do the same.
So Kona did hit that tree, so she's got the hyzer look in.
I love that, being on the left side, and then you've got a natural hyzer into the green. She'll have a putt at birdie.
Heather looking to flex that D2 through that tiny little gap. It's
Get
headed there.
going.
Oh!
Denied.
Pencil tree engage. And Kat way up there. She's just throwing a putter. PA1.
Oh, a bit offline on that one. And that's just annoying to be so far and get blocked.
So now she's got a little recovery shot, but this should be pretty much in her wheelhouse.
Yeah, very routine for Kat. She takes no time at all to execute those.
Little tree weave in here for Heather.
Tree weaver.
This is her A3.
Well, that looks good.
Gets it up there for a pretty simple putt. And you're over on this left side.
I decided I was going to give it a little halfy go, but it turns out I didn't have enough height for it. But hey, it's right there.
Yeah, we'll just call that a layup.
We will.
And Kona, who's got the birdie putt. Edge of the circle, just outside the tree line. To go 3 for 3.
Oh. I'm loving Kona's new putt.
Yes. It's working out really well. And Katrina for par keeps her scorecard clean.
Heather cleans up with her par putt. So
No birdies on this one today, but actually on another card, Ellen got this birdie. So
Ellen, wow.
Ellen is now going. She's birdied
Apparently,
3.
she's just getting all the birdies.
3 out of the first 4. So making a chase from one of the lower cards. Watch out for Ellen. Boomer. Take a look at Katrina's form. Coming out with that hyzer.
Wow.
And that slow turn to the right. What a great shot.
Okay, hole 5, par 5 in the woods, coming in at 690. If you're feeling aggressive, you can pump a driver as far as possible. Make sure you land in the middle, though. Trickling left or right, just 2 or 3 feet can be disastrous. If you want to be more conservative, choose a mid off the tee. Your second shot can be a little more aggressive, possibly landing somewhere near this grass patch. That should give you a shorter upshot into this very rocky green, and perhaps you can capture yourself a birdie 4.
Katrina up first, going with her X3. On a pretty
Going
good-
right, come on.
Oh, yeah.
Little champ love for her.
Flashing that ring. Heather going with her D2 again. Getting aggressive.
That's a little low. Luckily, it didn't get that cut roll I expected from it.
Yeah, it's still in the center, so she'll be able to throw a full shot on that her second shot.
I'm going mid off the tee. I do not like the ground play or the left skips from a driver, so I'm just opting for a middle, shorter shot.
That's a great spot to be. Kona going with her leopard 3.
And that's got some aggressive height on it.
Trying to trickle
Oh,
left.
look at
Wow,
that.
lead card love. Jeez, oh man, that's awesome. This is Heather's F5.
Ooh,
Little inside, but gets kicked
Wow.
back to the center.
this hole is being very friendly today. Thank you, hole 5. At this point, I've got a nice open gap, and why not try to sling something as far as I can up the fairway?
Was that your boss?
It was.
Now it's turning just enough.
Yeah, that'll be okay.
Kona looks like she's got her PD in her hand. She's got to put some angle on this to keep it in the fairway. Oh, man. And Kona has birdied this hole both rounds.
Yes.
Again.
I've witnessed it.
She got 4 and 5, both rounds, 2 for 2.
Katrina just opting for this standstill placement shot.
Yep, that's a great spot.
She's got the distance to get up to the green from there.
Heather going to her D2. Again, just a little bit low, but gets a nice skip to the middle. She'll have one more shot to try to get that birdie. Kona recovering to the center.
Smart play. And I feel like she wanted to put more on that, because she could have gotten to the green from where she was.
Yeah, it could be a height thing. This one it plays slowly uphill, and
You really
sometimes
got to aim higher than you normally would.
and sometimes like as you're getting up there, I always kind of
Ow.
forget how uphill it is.
Yes.
And don't make that adjustment.
Absolutely.
Cat with some weird footing on that wooden. What is that?
It's like an erosion control.
Yeah.
I don't know the proper term for it. You can leave that in the comments. Thank you.
We're gonna call it the erosion controller for now.
Yes.
That's too many syllables.
Official terminology.
Heather with an FX2.
Ooh, that's going places.
Oh, that's gonna be a tough putt on the way back.
But for Heather Young, is it really a tough putt?
That's a really good question.
Just popping a mirage up to this rocky green, hoping for a close sit.
Yep. Kona opting for the sidearm through these little gaps.
I just love that little flick of the wrist and boop, right by the basket.
Katrina also probably not running this, just pitching up.
And you can see instead of trying to shape it at the basket, she just opted for that safer left landing zone that's a couple feet away.
You were right. No big deal.
No surprise there.
Big old long putt for par. Ain't phasing Heather.
Heather being one of the DGPT putting champions. You can see her skills on display here. She just makes longer putts look very simple and smooth.
Katrina also tapping out the par. So no birdies on the card today. But, you know, par is really good on this hole. In fact, there was only 2 birdies in the field. One of them by Michelle Frazier. And then shout out to Sarah Sinclair.
Sweet.
Like 0 wobble. I mean, she hits that a little high, but 0 wobble. Like most of the time, even if it doesn't look like wobble, you can see a little wobble in the slow-mo, but hers is just perfectly pure.
Wobble. Here we go, hole 6, 530 feet. There's a couple different routes. You can go left or right. That really depends on what position you want to land in for your second shot. I prefer to land on the right side. That way you have an open gap towards the green. There is this section of skinny trees over here that is very much like gel. Get creative with your upshot. Might require some intense shot shaping in order to get up to these boulders, which are on the edge of circle 1. This is a birdieable hole, but it also, you know, there's no shame in taking a par here.
Heather's the only one who's been able to get this birdie so far this tournament. Katrina has had some misses off the tee, so she has now clubbed up to her M2, and that is way better than she's had. Heather going with her sidearm, D2.
Ooh,
Oh.
that's going a little... You know what? If she's outside of the forest, that'll be okay.
And you know, that's her 3rd in a row sidearm that was a little low and turned. So I'm wondering if she's having the same issue with her disc beating in more than she's expecting.
Ooh, interesting. I'm just trying to
This
pump
looks
that
pretty
road
good.
runner wide and outside, and I land in the primo position for my play.
Kona throwing that juicy T-bird. Scoodle. No. Oh, no. Well, that actually might open up the shot a bit instead of being behind that tree.
Yeah, it depends on if she's pinched off like Heather being really close to that tree.
Ooh, that's another little low miss.
Yeah, a little off on the angle, but I mean, she's
She's
still
up
in an
there.
okay position.
It almost looked like she was hitting her hand on that tree, too.
Right?
So that's always going to mess with your angle.
What a difficult shot to execute. She pulls out this Mako and just floats it through the gap like a pro.
And here you are in the great position. Looks like a Mako as well.
Yes, I wasn't even trying to get to the green. I'm just more concerned about hitting the gap at this point. Looking back, you know, maybe I should have tried to shape it to the green.
And Katrina also in a great position. Throwing her X3, trying to get all the way up there.
Man,
That looks
she'll
pretty
have
good.
about a 50-55 footer at it.
And Heather throwing her shot for her 3rd shot.
I love this.
Park City. Kona also on her 3rd shot. Little AVR X3.
Just another flick of the wrist.
Oh!
Wow.
That looked good. Sat pretty good, too. This is a long look for birdie.
Little 70%er.
And Kat with the birdie look, trying to get to 6 down, which will be her third birdie in 6 holes.
Ooh, wee.
Jumper for the win.
Look
Wow.
at that.
Getting right back on that birdie train. And a couple of par putts here from short. I wonder what would happen if you landed in that tree hole right there. Like, what would you do? How would you mark that? Would you get in the tree?
No, you'd have to play from directly behind it. It could be considered a large obstacle. You could get relief.
I feel like I would get in the tree.
Oh, what a fun thing to think about. Another look at Katrina's long birdie putt.
And this gives her a substantial lead as we're going into the next holes. So, man, she's got to keep maintaining, and I'm looking for some of the other card mates to get some birdies.
Passion is more than fiery emotion. It feeds the spark to start your day. It fuels your obsessions. It inspires your dreams. Passion challenges your fears, and it repeatedly bathes you in sweat until you are transformed into a new, better you. Disc golf isn't just your passion. It's ours too.
You've seen them in the hands of professionals, helping them compete at the highest level. Whale Sacks is a female-owned small business, handmade in the USA. We are dedicated to outstanding grip for all disc golfers.
Okay, y'all, hole 7, 370 feet, slightly downhill. Number 1, you need to make it through this gap. Then you can worry about your shot shaping. It's a very difficult green to get to. You can see there's a right path. That one's really tricky to take. Or the left path, which is more open. You can just throw straight at it and then have yourself a circle's edge, maybe circle 2 putt. Often you think you're getting down to the green and then you find yourself caught up in that pile of rocks that we just passed over. I consider this to be more of a bonus birdie.
Bonus it was yesterday for you slamming in that 50-footer.
Woo-wee!
Heather also got this one yesterday, but Kat has yet to get this birdie. She's throwing her M4. And that looks pure.
Oh, look at that little tree kick.
Wow. Well, we might just see the birdie right now. But Heather's only 3 back. She really needs to keep pace. This is her F5. That needs to flip up. Oh, it does. That looks like... Oh, she caught that blocker tree coming into the green.
Gonna see if I can get this Mako down to the green.
Oh, little stop. Oh, yeah. That looks great. Weaving through those blocker trees. Oh, we didn't see the finish.
It's a surprise.
Oh.
Kona also going with a Mako. Come on.
I think she must be trying to take that right path.
Oh, and that just hitting a couple of leaves kills the flight, but she will be on that right path, so she'll have a downhill look into the green.
Her stance is open, but the line is not so open. She has to pull out a few tricks.
And she left that a little shorter than you'd want, but it's still about a circles putt.
Oh, there you are. Another, this is like what, 90 feet?
Yeah.
Oh, that looked like it hit metal. And Heather just not getting quite the distance to get down there. We'll have to pitch up. And, man, that leaves kind of the door open for Katrina to take another stroke on the card. Kona for par.
Oh, got a little taste of the chains.
That looked pretty center. Heather tapping out the par as well.
And here we go, Katrina Allen for her birdie putt.
This is to take a stroke on the entire card and get herself a 4-stroke lead with just 2 holes left on the front.
Solid. Another birdie for Kat.
It always feels great too when you've been, going through these holes and then you still haven't gotten the birdie, and then you get to that final round and finally make the adjustments that you needed to make to get a birdie on a difficult hole like this. Another par putt. And Kona tapping out the bogey. This puts her at a +3 overall. Katrina throwing that beautiful hyzer flip, continues to turn and parks the basket.
Hole 8, another par 5 in the woods. The tee shot is more about positioning. I feel like I'm repeating myself with that line over and over, but it's the truth. You want to land somewhere short and middle. If you can make it over the ridge, that's even better. Your second shot probably doesn't have a run-up, so you need to perfect those standstill skills. If you make it over the ridge on your second shot, I consider that to be a bonus. Your third shot is really where you can unleash and try to get as close to the green as possible. But even if you do, it's not an easy putt. They've elevated this basket, and I'm 5'10", and it's well above my head.
Katrina going with her M4. Ooh, that needs to sit. She'll be off to the left rough. She is the only one on the card to have birdied this in the past. She actually got it both of the first 2 rounds.
Wow, that's impressive.
Heather with an F5. I like this play.
Yeah, that lands in a perfect position. I'm tossing my Tour Series Glow Champion Mako 3.
Is this a game plan change?
Nope. Still the same thing I've done all weekend. Just
Okay.
chipping that up there right around where Heather was. And Kona taking her Mako as well, also looking for positioning over distance.
Yeah, that's a change. She was throwing her Leopard 3 on the first 2 rounds. Oh, a little low. Oh, good skip off the rocks though.
Yeah, it didn't make it far, but it's still in an okay spot.
Heather with an A3.
Oh.
Misses her line. Shouldn't be too bad. Not too far off the fairway. Kona going with her PD. Trying to throw that flex up the fairway. That looks great.
Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful.
Right to the middle. That'll leave her a straight shot to the pin.
That's exactly what you want here.
Katrina over here in recovery land. Throwing that F7. Just trying to get it to the fairway. It looks good.
Yeah, it does.
She's still got a chance to birdie this.
So I'm in a little spot where I might have a couple of steps for a run-up. So I'm getting kind of greedy thinking, ooh, I can bite off some distance around this corner.
Is a Roadrunner?
It is.
Oh.
Nope, not today. But thank you. That was very lucky.
Heather with an FX2. Fighting out of the woods.
Oh, that looks good.
Oh, wow. And that looks like edge of the circle.
Great upshot.
Katrina wants to get this all the way to the pin.
Come on, turn.
Oh. Little work to do here to save her par.
That's a really tough shot to execute with your legs stretched out that way.
Yeah, you really lose power from that position. But you got to do it when, you need to open line.
Yep. A little misfire from me.
This looks like a Glow MD3. Yep, little turn. Little too much turn.
Yeah, you'd really like to be closer to the box on this one.
Oh, no. Okay, sneaks through. All right.
It'll be a longer look at it, but
This will to save her par and go still bogey free through 8. Oh, this is nice looking. All right.
and when that landed, I thought, ooh, that's a lot further away than I wanted.
Everything's too far away on this basket.
Yeah, I prefer to just be up against the wooden structure. And I'm not sure if Heather was going for that or laying it up. It had the height to go for it,
I thought she was closer too.
but the distance was more of a layup. Kona
Kona.
not wanting any taste of
Yep.
this. Don't even mess around with that.
Even from the edge of the circle, this one feels pretty intimidating to putt at. And Katrina to save her par.
Wow, great putt.
This is for single bogey. Very nice. Kona for par.
That's a good putt from Kona.
Yeah, this one played as the third most difficult hole.
Not surprising.
And this was I was the only one to birdie this one today.
What?
This would be my second birdie in a row in the round.
Oh, that's fancy.
Wait, third birdie in a row. This was my turkey putt.
Wow.
So I'm kind of pushing from the chase card, trying to put myself up in the mix. But Katrina, so far, no blemishes and has a substantial lead over the entire card, and including me on the second card.
Hole 9, here we go. Hole par 4, 555 feet. You really want to just hit the gap, most importantly. If you fade slightly left onto that other path, that's okay. Do not go right by any means. That's when it really gets nasty. You don't want to be over there. On your upshot, you got to decide you're going left or right of this tree that you see. This is a birdieable hole, so I'm expecting this lead FPO card to try to get all the way down there and get a 3.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because this is actually, nobody on this card has birdied this hole yet in the tournament. In fact, it has yielded a few double bogeys. So we'll see if this card can clean it up and get down there.
That is executed perfectly.
Wow, I think that's about the 300-foot mark
It is.
she's right next to. So still a lot of work, but she is in great position to do it. Heather going with her F5. Needs that to turn
Come
more.
on.
Oh, that's a bad spot.
You don't want to be over there. There's really nothing to work with but a pitch out or a Hail Mary.
Kona with a nice turn with that leopard 3.
And what a tasty treat that is, popping past Katrina's shot. And now I've switched up my disc for the third time, going for a more stable Mako, just trying to avoid that right pocket.
Okay, punch through the left side.
And, I can work with it over there.
It's not too bad.
You can see what happens when you go into Narnia. Heather being really brave and going through the forest.
Yeah, just looking for a gap and throwing at it. Back into the forest, but she's made forward progress. It's a road runner.
It is. Just trying to get as much distance as possible, because once you get down there towards the pin, it is a little more open than it appears on video.
Yeah, and I like that right side better
too.
than the left.
Exactly.
So you're down there for a putt, looks like.
Heather's still trying to find her way out of the woods. That was shaping up pretty decent.
Back into the woods. Heather's going to play this hole from the woods. No fairways necessary. And Katrina for her second shot with a flip up with her PA1.
Come on.
Gets down there for a putt for birdie.
So far, she's in the best position to birdie this hole out of the group.
This could be 5 down on the front 9 for Katrina. Kona pitching up. And now Heather, this is her par shot. And she's not too far away. So even though she hasn't used the fairway yet, she's still like doing pretty good. And Kona for birdie.
And that had the float to get there, just not quite the right aim.
And this is your birdie look. Nice run. Oh, Heather needs to put this one in the basket. Get there. Oh, very nice. Saves the bogey after playing the entire rough the whole way up there.
Incredible bogey save.
And now Katrina to get 5 down through the front 9 and give her, wow, a 6-stroke lead over Heather.
Her putting is looking super clean today.
Yeah, I mean, she was 100% inside the circle the first round and 75% still the second round. And I don't think she's missed one yet.
Yeah, it's so fun to see your competitors and your friends play well. Even though, we want to win ourselves, it's just such a sense of joy to watch someone else out here killing it.
Also killing it today, Ellen Widboom got this birdie as well as Katrina.
We've been talking about Ellen the whole round with all these birdies.
She's been getting all the hard ones. So.
As Kona taps in for her par putt. Take another look at Heather's putt from downtown to save this bogue.
And that looks like 55, 60 feet.
All of it.
Pure zero wobble. Wow. Sneaks it in that left side.
Count it.
So, wow, what a front 9. Kat is bogey-free, 5 down. So she has taken a substantial lead. And Heather with just the one blemish. Kona and Holly a little struggling to get the birdies, but there's a lot of birdies to be had on the back. And there's also a lot of trouble.
You said it, and if you haven't liked, subscribed, or shared to the Central Coast Disc Golf YouTube channel, please do that now. And make sure you tune in for the Back 9 coverage brought to you by Holly Finley and
Sarah Holcomb.
See you on the next one.